What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Keeping Up with KP. I am 9 days out from NPC Universe, and in today's episode, I'm going to do a little bit of a day in my life episode, how I am preparing for peak week. Peak week starts in 2 days. This is my second peak week, and last peak I did a 9 days out YouTube. So I thought it would be cool to see how this 9 days out differs from last, what we're doing different, how I'm going into it mentally. So today I have a lot of preparation going into show, going into peak week. So I'm going to bring you along with the journey. It is currently 7:10 a.m. and I am on my way to my colonic appointment. Last peak I did a colonic 2.5 weeks out. This peak I am doing one 9 days out. I wasn't going to do one because my digestion has been really good with implementing the vacuums, gut reset, all of the things. But because we are so focused on core control, and this peak will be a little bit different because I will be traveling, I just want to preemptively do everything that I can to nail this. So this session more so being like a maintenance session rather than like a necessity, I think is just going to put me in a really good position. Just basically give my digestive system like a clean palate going into peak week. So what I'm going to bring you through in today's episode in preparation for peak week, 9 days out, is we first have my colonic appointment at 7:30 a.m. I have posing at 10 a.m. It is a lower body A day. And then later this afternoon, I am getting my hair color touched up. I just got my extensions moved up. So the final step is making sure that I appear overall solid blonde. If you've been following along with the hair saga journeys, I do my hair in bits and pieces because I have so much of it. I'm limited on time and it's just like literally a whole thing. What we'll be doing today is just a quick little root touch up, making sure that I appear overall blonde. So really just targeting my roots up top and my crown area. These are like the two main points of focus. We do not want to fry my hair off, but we want to be very blonde. I've got my morning drinks here with me. This is my hot lemon water. This is my gut drink. I have adjusted my gut drink recipe going into peak week. For my gut reset, I do pull out the glutamine and apple cider vinegar that I put in my gut drink just because these kind of make my digestive system like a little bit more reactive. I've been drinking this drink for a very long time and I have been finding at times the acidity with the apple cider vinegar and the lemon is just too much, and then the glutamine does feed gut bacteria. So I just feel like a little bit more digestive activity, and not necessarily in a good way, just kind of a little bit bloaty, bubbly when I have the glutamine in on a daily basis. So I find when I pull these out, it just makes things really calm. Now, both of these things absolutely have benefits, but we are just really trying to control my core and all of the variables, which is why I'll be pulling it out temporarily. I leave these both in typically all of the time because of the benefits for soft tissue repair with the glutamine, for the gut benefits, for all of the things. They're part of the drink for a reason, but for the sake of peak week and controlling my gut environment, I will be pulling them out temporarily. The biggest difference between this show and last show is that we will be air traveling to this show. Last show we drove, which makes things really nice for packing purposes because I'm kind of a pack rat. I just like stress pack last minute. Like I just start shoving things in bags with like any possible thing I might need. But this time we will be flying. We have done this plenty of times. We did this same exact show last year. We stayed at the same exact hotel. So that really helps peace of mind wise. Like I know what to expect. There's really going to be no surprises. I know what the gym situation's like. I know what the setup is like. I know what the stage is like, what the backstage is like. Like I know what to expect. So that really keeps things better for me mentally. Last week, Coach and I were in very close proximity. We practice peaked me. So I was checking in every day, 5 days in a row. And then we took a 2-day break. I checked in yesterday and Coach kind of gave me the game plan timeline going into peak week, what I'll be training, what the supplement protocol is going to be, like basically what I can expect. But we will be starting daily check-ins tomorrow. So big picture, we have a game plan, but depending on my daily check-ins, we may tweak things slightly if needed. We learned a lot from my practice peak, and so we are not going to be making any of the same mistakes twice. So things are going to be a little bit different this peak, which I'm really looking forward to, and I'm really excited about, because no peak is the same, you guys. My physique going into this peak is not the same as it was going into last peak. So we have to change things. We will get into what those changes are shortly, but right now I'm going to go in for my colonic appointment. Colonic is done. That may have been a little bit more necessary than I thought. I'm very happy that I did that. And once again, you guys, I do not gatekeep. Colon hydrotherapy is something that I've been doing since my early 20s. I am 32. Colon hydrotherapy has so many benefits, and I encourage you to look into it, because I think everyone should take better care of their digestive health, their digestive world, because especially being a competitor, like I eat 5 meals a day. So for people that think this is a quick fix, first and foremost, no, it's not, because I'm still going to eat my 5 meals today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day after that. So like the food is always going in and through. However, when you do eat this much food, even if you are so regimented, there are so many other variables in your life that can slow down digestion, like stress, poor sleep, if your water intake is off, like so many things. And then you get, gas. Like that's not even including sauces, spices, stevia, carbonation, meals off plan, alcohol. Like there's so many things that affect your digestion, right? And so colon hydrotherapy is a tool for instances where things might not be moving as good, great, and wonderful as they normally are. I didn't want to do this too close to show, because short term, it's probably going to throw off my electrolyte balance a little bit, but it's going to help me regain that regularity, because things were a little less regular. Things were a little slower. I was feeling a little bit more gassy, and the biggest things, which it's hard to tell what's what when you're like this far into the process, but my energy and my mental, like I was just feeling less energy than I feel like I should. Like more tired, more draggy, more lethargic. Immediately after, like when the gut clears out, I just feel more like myself. And that's the thing, if you've never done this, you will feel all of your hopes, fears, and dreams that you hold in your gut, like all the stress, honestly, that you hold in your gut, because we do, it just leaves you. And so today was a very good reminder of that. But I'm really happy that I can like check this one thing off my list, because obviously core control is super important. And then my coach and I, we have open dialogue about my bathroom habits at this point, because it's very important that I remain regular, especially when the emphasis and focus is so much on my core control. So we plan for this. Did he prescribe me to do this? Did he recommend doing this? No, this is something that I take upon myself to do. This is something I was doing before I started working with my coach, and it's something that I have expressed to him. It's important that I keep in, because it does help me quite a bit. If you are in the south suburb area, I do have a colonic person I would love to introduce you to. She's been doing mine for the last like 3 years, and she is incredible. Before that, I was going downtown Chicago, but you really just have to like find your people, your person, especially for something like this, So all that to say, it is now 8:30 a.m. I'm going to finish my gut drink here. I have my mushroom coffee. I'm gonna go home. I have my posing session at 10. Today is a lower body A day, and I do not have any cardio. I just have steps. So I think I will go on a little walk this morning. I'm going to do a walk. I'm going to do some mobility prior to my posing. I'm going to see how my stomach feels, and I will likely wait to have my first meal until after my posing session, just because I want to give my body a minute coming out of that colonic, because it was a bit intense, I'm not going to lie. I did wake up to 620 subscribers this morning, and less than a week ago, I was at like 358, and I was celebrating that then. And my watch time just hit 1,000 hours, which is like the first milestone in YouTube. So I'm feeling very, very grateful. And when we get into how this mental landscape is this peak week compared to last, I'm going to get more into this, but just waking up to that today was just, I want to say I can't believe it, but I can. Like, I have known in my head and in my heart this whole time it was just a matter of time. The best way to describe this feeling is like when you want something and you manifest something like so bad for so long, and you work towards something for so long. Like, my social media journey has been like 10 years, you guys, and I have never been consistent with it. And we can copy and paste this to my health, wellness, and fitness journey, honestly. You know, you want something, you work towards something, but your actions don't align with the goal entirely. But this time they did. Even during the days and weeks and months where I was literally getting nothing in return. No likes, no views, literally nothing. But this goes with your health, wellness, and fitness journey too. Like, when you're doing the small stuff, when you're doing the habits, you're drinking the water, you're getting the steps, you're going to the gym, you're putting in the work, and you're not seeing the results until you do. It's just this sweet spot where action and intention like cross over on the same timeline. You're manifesting this, you want this, your head, your heart, it's there. And then your actions are like, right? And when both those timelines cross paths, that's when you arrive where I've arrived. Ryan needs a car. Post mushroom coffee walk, post-colonic walk, some fresh air. Hopefully it doesn't start raining on me. It looks like it's about to, but I just wanted to get some morning steps in. It's important to space the steps out throughout the day since I do not have prescribed cardio, but I do still have around 8K step goal for today. So today's episode is a little bit of a day in my life, 9 days out from NPC Universe. I'm just going to take you through like how I am preparing for this peak week. 9 days out, preparing to go into peak week number 2. It's different because we are going into this peak week from a place of experience rather than a place of uncertainty. So this peak, we are approaching differently. And that's what I love about this process and what I love about this sport is like you are constantly learning. You are a student of the process, you are a student of the body, and it's all encompassing. And today I just feel so grateful that I get to do this, you know? I've said a handful of times now that every prep is different and you don't come out of prep the same way you go into it, right? Now that I'm in it, I want to zoom in a little bit on this, just like where I'm at in the journey, because also every peak is different. Like if you're doing a competition season, every peak is different because your body is going to be different throughout the season, right? And then also you don't come out of any show the same person that you went into it, because this experience just kind of like cracks you open. You come face to face with who you are and your potential, and you find yourself there in that win or in that loss. And I'm experiencing that right now. Getting the opportunity to take every second of every day to improve, to get better, to bring that next best version of myself to fruition. I just feel so grateful for it. So touching base with Coach yesterday, just kind of like an overview of what we learned from first peak and what we are not going to make the same mistake twice in this peak. Just generally, the biggest things we learned and the biggest things that we are changing is my water manipulation, which I am so happy about, because that is the one part of this that I struggle with, is when my water gets cut. Like, you can take my food all day long, but when my water gets cut, I like start to panic. And actually, we don't need to cut my water that much, if at all. So that is one thing that we will be changing, as well as the feed up process. So the feed up process is going to be way less aggressive. Training has been changed. I had one upper body day in between shows, which I just posted. That was on Monday, which has been crazy. And it's really crazy how it worked. You know, we were able to achieve much better balance by pulling back on upper body, by adding in more rest, and not just balance, but that softness that they're looking for in bikini. But there is a fine line with the softness, so we had to make sure that my conditioning stayed on point. And so that's what I have a coach for, to guide me. I just have to execute. And so I have done that, and I'm feeling really good. We are feeling really good with how the body is looking. Other than that, not much is going to change other than the travel component, again, because I will be flying, so I will be getting there a day early. We'll be leaving on Wednesday, and my show is on Friday. Look, a bear. Hank, get down. This is my Newsy Hank. He outweighs me by at least 10 pounds. Other than water, food, managing stress, the travel, refining the posing, refining the look, refining the mind. We have now got 20 minutes until my posing session. The mobility work I do before posing is a 90-90 stretch. So I sit like this, 2 minutes each side. And then just some banded cat-cows. This helps me open up my hips so I can sit in my front pose better, as well as the back flexibility. But the time between these two shows, I just feel like no time was wasted. You can really learn and change so much in a short period of time if you put in the work. Check-in yesterday with coach. We kind of have like our overview of the next week. We have our travel plans, our travel days, our rest days, our training days are all set and scheduled. So I'm really just trying to set myself up in all aspects so that I can like go into this week, because the biggest thing for me is managing my mental, my stress, and just bringing the best version of myself. Like I told you guys, the last 3 weeks have really just been an inside job. So going into this peak week, I am feeling much more prepared, much more grounded. It comes from the warm-up show, who I had to become as a result of that warm-up show, and what we learned from practice peaking this new physique. You know, my body's response to the water, to the food, to the stress, to the travel, and then just feeling so much more prepared with the presentation piece. You know, the work that I've done with my core control, the work that I've done and that I'm doing with my posing. I'm still refining these things, and I will continue to refine these things up until the moment that I step on stage. Like, we are bringing a completely different package, a completely different look, a completely different KP. And it's really crazy what we've been able to achieve with the adjustments that we've made in just 3 weeks. Better balance, more softness, a better core, refined posing. But it's also been really cool from like a data standpoint, because my body weight was heavier when I came in harder. Now we're bringing a much softer look, but my body weight is less. And so we're gonna continue to pull me down a little bit before we fill me back up. But again, my body weight will be less at a more fuller, softer look. So that part's been interesting because I do weigh daily. So my daily weight today was 122.5. And starting this evening, I will start taking my weight in the evening and in the morning, and tomorrow begins daily check-ins. So 8 days out, I will be checking in daily with my coach, which is why I'm really preparing. You know, you do like a pre-prep, but this is like a pre-peak prep. That's what I'm treating this as, and that's what I'm bringing you guys through today, because I really want to set myself up mentally, physically, emotionally, because a lot of time and attention goes into peak week. Like, we want to nail this peak so I can earn this title, but it's really become less and less about the title for me. Like, I've been chasing this pro card, right? And now at this point, like, I just feel the real win is like who I've become. Like, I am so good with myself, and I'm so excited to bring this refined version of myself to stage and showcase that, to represent the bikini division, to represent my coach, to represent myself. And hopefully it earns me the title that I've been working towards. But if it doesn't, I'll be okay. because this is the most certain and supported I have ever felt going into a show, just in all aspects of my life. So we are gonna get this suit on and refine this posing. Posing session went great. I never step away from a session without having something to work on and fine tune, and that's truly what makes you better. Like, we have really just been refining the details. My posing routine has felt like putting together a puzzle, and I am the puzzle. Because you're piecing together the physique, you're piecing together your personality, you're piecing together your aura, and that has changed. And this is the first season I've worked with a posing coach like throughout my entire prep. Previous preps, I just do 1 or 2 sessions and I'd get a little bit of feedback, which is why my posing has never been great and why I've always struggled with it, because I've never prioritized it. And so even prioritizing it this season, as we all know, I did not nail it at Michigan State. But the puzzle that we have been putting together, which is me, I feel is almost complete. Starting out, I found a routine that I really loved, but it was a little much. Every time I've shown up to a session, we either add or take away bits and pieces. And it's funny because at the beginning, I was like adding in all of like this flair and personality. And as it's gone on and on, I've gotten clear on how I want to show up on stage. Today when we started the session, Ari was like, okay, well, is there anything you want to add? And I was like, actually, there's a lot I want to take away. I want my physique, I want my presence to do the talking. And so based on this, we made some refinements, and I'm really excited about it because these refinements feel the most me. And I think the aura and the presence that I really want to bring to stage is just control. In control of my core, of course, but like for those 45 seconds, I want to have total control of the energy in that room. That is my goal, and those are the refinements I am hoping to bring to my posing at NPC Universe. So with that being my last posing session tentatively, if I have a spiral and I feel like I need another, we'll do a last minute one early next week. But I'm just planning as of now to send her some photos and video once I arrive, just to get some last minute feedback before show day. But I'm feeling really good and confident with all of it. And I could have not done this and brought this version of me without her help. She's really had the patience and expertise to like pull it out of me and to guide me. So if you're looking for a posing coach, I 10 out of 10 recommend Ariana Brothers. Moving on to training, I am pulling into the gym as I speak, and this is my last intense lower body A day. Lower body A is my hardest training day. I've got some glute drive, I've got some Bulgarian split squats. You have to understand, you guys, I have 2 training days. 3 if you count upper body, but I've done 1 upper body in the last month. So I have 2 training days, lower A, lower B, lots of rest. So before show, I'll have 2 more, but today is at 100% intensity. Timeline with training before show: lower A today, tomorrow rest, Friday lower B. These are my last 2 100% sessions. Friday begins peak week. Saturday, Sunday, rest. Monday, lower A, but we're modifying intensity, so just pulling back. We do not do a specific peak week training. We keep movement patterns the same. We just pull back on intensity, and we'll be doing reps in reserve, maybe like 75%. I'm gonna have to reread plan. Tuesday will be my packing, get my ducks in a row day, so that will be rest. Wednesday will be my final training session, which I will do once I arrive in New Jersey. That will be a quick lower body pump. It'll be my lower body B workout, just modified. 1 top set, reps in reserve, quick, efficient, get the blood moving after a full day of travel. That is exactly what we did last peak week. Thursday will be rest, Friday will be show. So that's kind of the timeline on training, which is super exciting. I do not have specifics on last cardio, but right now, you guys, my cardio is minimal. Lower A days, I have none. Lower B days, I have 20 minutes. And my rest days, I have 40. I'm gonna say Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, I have 3 40-minute sessions left. Cardio is no big deal this time, you guys. Most people by the end of prep are like dreading it, fighting for their lives, like hating cardio. I enjoy my cardio. I edit my YouTubes. preparing for peak week on the training front, essentially in 9 days, I have 4 sessions left. 2 of those being at 100% intensity, 2 of those being at 75% intensity, and the rest of it being rest, which is why it is so important for me to take care of me, okay? So with this training, I'm first, as always, going to do my mobility work. What's really been motivating me during my training is to listen to my coach's YouTubes. So today I'm going to be keeping up with Nick Coey. You should too. Go give him a follow. You have to find the people that like speak to you, right? If I inspire and motivate you, I encourage you to give him a follow. Definitely different vibe, but he resonates with me and he has helped turn me into the athlete that I am. So if you want to understand what kind of like gets me going and speaks to me, go give Nick a follow. Follow along with the journey because he is so inspirational. He has been to the Olympia stage not once, but twice, and he is on his way back in a different division. He switched divisions and hasn't been outside of top 5 since he switched from men's physique to classic physique. And that is crazy, you guys. So if you want to know what my playlist is today, it is going to be Nick's YouTube. Enough procrastinating. Time to get this lower body A day.
I'm in my belly shining bright, diamonds dancing in the night, Ferrari parked under moonlight, living fast but feeling right. My bed wave, champagne rain, golden order, no more pain. Every second ultra prime, luxury written in time. Status glow, all white party, marble floors, private listen, hidden doors, diamonds frozen on my wrist, every flash you can't resist, slow deep rhythm in my veins, money long like...
Lower body A complete. You guys, every single thing I check off the list gets us one step closer to universe, and the excitement, anticipation keeps building and building. It's so crazy because I have had this timeline for quite a while. My coach always kind of gives me the timeline around Christmas, so it feels like a little Christmas present. And so it seems so far away, right? Like you seem like you have time, and then all of a sudden you blink and it's here. This time around is really interesting because I feel a lot more present. My last show, I don't feel like I blinked and it was over. Like the last 3 weeks of my life feel like a lifetime because I have transformed so much as a human in the last 3 weeks as a result of that show that was just a warm-up show. I'm realizing that that warm-up show was way more significant in this season than what I think I gave it credit for going into it. Because if you recall, I was like, oh, well, if I'm gonna have fun at any show, it should be this one. And I was trying to allow myself to, relax and have fun because it wasn't that deep in the grand scheme of things, right? But actually wrong, because I took that show just as seriously and look who I became because of it. And so this brings us to where I am at mentally, how I am mentally preparing for this peak. Because I feel like when I have gone to those dark places during this prep, and we have to go to those dark places, you guys, there is no light without the dark. But in my dark places, I am always searching for proof. And the thing that I've learned with proof is that if you're searching for proof that you don't belong, or you're not good enough, or you're not qualified enough, if you are searching for that proof, you will always find it. And something I caught myself doing, and I know a lot of other people do this too, because in between shows, we're always looking back. We're looking back to see our previous self and if we beat that version of ourselves, right? We're always trying to be me versus me. And I think when we're doing these comparisons, what we're really looking for is proof that we have improved, to convince ourselves that we are enough. And so I caught myself doing that. I still catch myself doing that, because when we are looking at our bodies every single day and we are so far in it mentally, physically, emotionally, it's hard to separate ourselves and really measure our progress. But I think doing this is so useful, and I am so grateful that I have documented the journey. Because there was a time in my journey where I wouldn't even take photos of myself. I wouldn't take progress photos. I wouldn't take gym selfies. This prep, I started taking a tripod to the gym so I can now measure my progress, not just by my check-in photos, but by my form and by my confidence. This was the first improvement season that I wore crop tops, that I wore shorts. Every other improvement season, I would hide in hoodies because this time I was proud. I was proud of the body of work. I was proud of the honesty that I had with the process because my physique was proof, is proof. Your body of work is proof that you have improved. And this isn't just with your health, wellness, and fitness goals. This can be applied to any area of your life because I was just looking back in my unlisted YouTube shorts for exercises I used to record for clients. And so 3 years ago when I started fitness coaching and I would record my form during the pandemic at home, like I felt underqualified then, but I was more than qualified to help people because you are the most qualified to help the people that you have been. So I just want to give credit to the girl who started, because had I not been brave enough to start and disciplined and determined enough to continue, I wouldn't be here today, you guys. I wouldn't be here doing this right now. And so I remember a year ago getting ready to go to Universe and I had a lot of self-doubt. And this time I don't, because I can measure my progress far beyond the accolade or the title that I may or may not receive. My body of work is proof enough to me that I have earned everything good coming my way. And I have earned every hard lesson coming my way. And I welcome it. I welcome the hard with open arms because I thrive in the shit. That is the one thing I've learned. I thrive in the work. And so preparing for this peak, how it differs from last, I don't want or need to shut down, but I am going to be present. I am going to shut off early. I am going to hold myself to the professional standard. I'm going to be a little quiet. I'm going to be very present. I'm going to be an ambassador of the sport. I'm going to be an ambassador of myself. I'm going to be an ambassador of my coach. I'm going to represent the bikini division the best that I possibly can. I am going to wear this physique and present this physique the best that I possibly can. And I'm just going to let it be good, you guys. This pursuit brings up so much. You are face to face with yourself every single step of the way. It is you versus you. And there's been times of loneliness, there's been times of self-doubt, there's been times of joy, there's been times of sadness. Every thought, feeling, and emotion possible you feel on the deepest level during this pursuit. And this pursuit means different things to different people, but it means everything to me because it has literally built me. It has built me into a version of myself that I have always wanted to become, and I feel like I owe so much to this pursuit. And for some people it's not that deep, but for me it's everything. And so 9 days out, a day of my life, preparing for peak week number 2. Last thing I'm checking off my list is getting my hair done. So I am running home real quick to get caught up on my meals, go to the center. My old assistant Blake is coming out to do my hair. God bless his soul. But I'm going to round out this episode here. So if you like this episode, make sure to like this episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for the hair. Stay tuned for peak week. What's next? Please comment below if you like this day of my lifestyle. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the support. That is all I've got for you guys today. And I will see you in the next one.